I figured I wanted to know exactly what is available. Like when I want to know stuff, I don't look up Alex Jones's videos. I don't look up conspiracy theory videos. I mean, it's one thing if you want to look up. Like I highly suggest the Resolute Orbis channel, Lucian Aurelius or whatever his name is. I highly suggest you check out My Lunch Break. I suggest you check out Mind Unveiled. If you want to look up stuff that's about Tartaria or the history that you can't really find anywhere else, then I suggest you do that. But for stuff like this, like I want to know exactly what they want me to know. What do the Jews want us to know about the scenario? The Jews who pull the strings. What do they want us dumb goyim to know? And why do they want us to think the way they do? Why are we keeping this?
Oh, that's Ella's Christmas.
Oh,
It was free.
oh okay.
Told me to donate it to charity. I said okay.
um, but I that's such bullshit. So that's a Switch game we bought, right? Bought the Switch game, didn't notice it when they bought
No,
it.
no, no, no.
No, no.
It's worse than that. I did notice it because I blew the picture up. The picture, get that. Okay, so the picture doesn't have the white part. It's all solid, which tells you there's a game card included. The white part is when it's a downloadable game, no game card included. So the picture when you order it is the game card included one. And then they send you this bullshit.
Irregardless,
That makes it so much worse because it's deception.
so this is what you get. So she's right. It's deception, but at the same time,
Because you can look one up that has that.
you don't own that. If the only thing you're buying is a download, when that download expires or you don't follow,
No, you download it onto your unit. I talked, so we could take our unit somewhere else. That is why, but we're download it and it stays on the unit. So they can then bring it here and play it. So that would still work, but their Switch has a problem. So we have to talk about that.
okay, whatever.
But no, if the download expires, you just wouldn't be getting your updates and stuff.
Well, you
But you
can't
could still play the
you
game.
can't sell it. That's the thing.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can't
no.
turn around and resell the cartridge.
No, because you can only use your download code
Once.
on one unit.
Right. So you can't take it to anybody's house. You can't give it to somebody and be like, "Oh, I'm done with this here. Why don't you play it?"
Sell it. GameStop's going to go out of business
Of course.
down the road. I mean,
Do you understand what a jank bullshit system we have right now?
Yeah, that's so
Th-
fucked
There's
up.
the fact that eBay, the fact that all these mediums charge taxes
Well, wait a second.
on stuff that you sell that you've already paid taxes on when you got the money. You already paid taxes when you paid for it. Otherwise you would just throw this away. So what we're doing is preventing more trash from being created by basically recycling it. But because we Goyim are making money without Jews making money off of us, they won't have it.
What's the name of that? Nickelodeon Big Brawl.
Something like that.
Big
Yeah.
Brawl.
Big Brawl 2. It's only available on download. You can't even buy a cartridge.
Right. But here's the watch. And Big Brawl 2. And I'll even put in the specific. Okay. Now, there are two different ones here. See this?
They both.
That doesn't have the white.
That
has
one
the
does.
white. Right. You can buy the down. This doesn't exist. They don't make it with a game cartridge. So why are they showing it in anything else? How do they have a case without the white?
That should be a big fucking deal because even when you pull up to the page, it looks like a normal game cartridge. Like you see the red at the top. That's what it has. It has the red, and then next to the red, it has the white, and that's bullshit.
They don't make this.
Right? That's a scam on the highest levels.
So that's what was the big confusion. But
That's
let
some
me
bullshit.
just say that Target was really fucking cool because we had ordered it, it came.
Of course.
And you guys sent us the one. And instead of them saying, return the one that you have to the store or send it back to us with the address label, whatever, we'll send you a return label.
Because they don't want you to make a deal out of it. Because they want you to be like, oh, Target was really cool about it. It's Target that's doing this.
No, Target didn't do this.
Yes, it is.
No, this is not just Target.
No, that's Target. That's the Target
one that I
page
pulled
doing
up?
it. Yeah, that was the Target page.
Okay, but it's not just Target.
Well, the other one didn't have it. The other one had the Target page has specifically made.
Here's Walmart. Same thing. Look
Okay,
at,
but pull it up.
Walmart has
Pull it up.
without the red and with the red. They're showing
Pull
both.
it up. Okay, yep, without the red. So that's
Okay,
again,
but
that's a
then here's
scam.
Walmart over here
Right.
with the red. So that makes you think
They have both.
they have both.
Right.
It's bullshit. But they
That's a
said
scam.
donate it to charity. So
Of course, because they don't want what because what it's worth it for them to lose the $20 or whatever it is and not have you make a big fucking deal out of it.
that's bullshit. They
That
should not
we
have
don't
those
bring this
pictures.
to the attention of the world, that we don't make a big fucking deal out of it and expose this scam for what it is, because this is probably something that exists on multiple games.
Nintendo, though, why would they have paid money to have labels printed without the white if they
They
don't
didn't
even
have
make it?
labels printed. Where are you?
Covers.
Are you in
No,
1992?
you know what I'm talking. They have to pay for the graphics. They have to pay for the ink.
Are you?
For the front of the game, the cover
They don't have the front of the game like that.
on the case.
Okay, well,
Why print them without the white if you
but
don't
they don't.
make
They're
them?
not printed. You can't buy a cartridge.
No, the
I know what you're saying. They just pull it up on the computer. They don't print these out. They don't have actual cases without the white.
this image.
Right.
They have to pay for that image to
Right.
be done.
But
So why have it done without the white if you don't sell it?
all you have to do
It's
is
a waste of
all
money.
you have to do is this image is probably this much, probably bigger, and you can kind of see through it is bigger. So all I do is remove the white. There's no paying for anything on this. I mean, obviously they pay for the graphic designer to do his thing, but they're not paying for labels to be printed up. They're
Why
not
are there pictures of him on a game?
to
That's my thing. Like,
there's pictures
I
because
pay for
pictures
that.
are easy to print like on the game. It's that's all easy to do with the but there's no game cartridges made that look like that. But still,
no.
it's just bullshit. It's to trick people. All right, so sorry I diverted from what I was talking about. I think it's the Israeli troll watching me anyway, so what do I care? But we are into this story, and we decided to go to the Thomas Michael Crooks part first. On the 13th of July, 2024, at a rally near Butler, Pennsylvania, Crooks shot at Trump with an AR-15 style rifle from a nearby rooftop while Trump was giving a speech. Crooks hit Trump's ear with a shot and killed one attendee while critically injuring two others before being killed by a Secret Service counter sniper team. His motives remain unknown. The FBI is investigating the case. Not doing a good job. Evidence of his political views remains inconclusive, so we're just going to go with these. So there's literally no new details. In January 2021, he donated $15 to a voter turnout group with a Democrat platform. When he reached the voting age of 21 into September of 2021, he registered to vote in Pennsylvania as a member of the Republican Party and remained registered as a Republican until his death.
Ew.
Literally nothing new. Early life and education. Let's see how this plays out. Is this going to be one of those things that gives us a bunch of nothing details, but nothing real? Wikipedia is pretty famous for that, so let's find out. Chris Hansen? Thomas Matthew Crooks was born on September 20th, 2003. He grew up in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, south of Pittsburgh. Isn't that the Jewish neighborhood? Isn't that where the synagogue shootings took place? I'm almost 100% sure. Can I see your phone for just a second?
I guess it's Keith's birthday today, and Jolie has a bunch of pictures of Keith in his underwear posted on her page as a happy birthday tweet. Her dad. Looking through them right now. It's very
That is fucking weird. You know how many pictures of me in my underwear my kids have and they're boys? What the fuck was I just gonna? Oh yeah.
Make it 19:30. I hate waiting at the airport.
It's spring break, Admiral. You'll be cutting it close.
I'll be fine.
I just don't want you to miss the chance to see your son.
All right, 1900. But if I am stuck waiting with
What the fuck?
that boys, you will never hear the end of it.
And I wouldn't want to hear the end of it.
What the fuck?
What?
You are just.
Why am I in Google Shopping? I don't want to be in
Go to
Google
shopping.
Shopping.
Go to all. I was in shopping. Looking
I'm not
for you.
trying to be in shopping.
Just scroll
Can't
over.
have mutant vigilantes running around the city.
By the way, sir.
I was just looking up the
Shush,
game,
shush,
so I was in shopping.
shush.
Morning. Morning. What's this? That is what Anna, we would like you to wear to the wedding. You children
And they were at a Squirrel Hill, Pennsylvania. Okay, so
are going for.
that's not it. So then is it the
Just you. Just me. Is this your way of
is it the stabbing, the Grafton
actually had to ask? I mean, what's their
Thomas,
question? I mean, you've been spending a lot
Grafton Thomas, still incompetent to face murder. He's still incompetent as of January 2024.
gone down because
Gosh, that's interesting.
cheering up. Said you went to dinner too.
Let's see. Now I'm on a different fucking tangent here, but so I look up Grafton Thomas and I do it by date. And literally nothing, like, it's like Thomas Tynes obituary from a week ago, Thomas Sheldon obituary from a month ago, Thomas Swisher, I'm assuming an obituary, John Luke Beauregard, Kevin R. Smith, Thomas Lee obituary, Thomas W. Grenmo, 82 of Grafton obituary, vagrant in brutal 2019 Hanukkah machete attack, still unfit for trial. New York Post. Vagrant in brutal 2019 Hanukkah machete attack, still unfit for trial, but DA's office determined to prosecute.
Pull the thing down at the top. They'll show up. And then pull it back up.
An upstate judge has ruled that a deranged vagrant charged in a brutal 2019 machete attack on Hasidic Jews at a Hanukkah party is still unfit for trial, still unfit, but determined prosecutors vow they will still throw the book at him whenever he's cleared to face jury. What the fuck is this video?
You know you're gonna slip one day out, like, in public.
I hope so. I'm not going to slip. Rockland County Judge Kevin Russo last week signed an order committing Grafton Thomas, who is charged with murder in the December 28, 2019 attack in Ramapo, to be held at a psychiatric hospital for at least 2 more years as an incapacitated person. Isn't it strange how this guy that did this synagogue attack is being held in a position to where nobody can actually get to him and ask him what the fuck was going on? Because if he's in prison, people can interview him. And the system is definitely, like, hesitant to just call somebody crazy if they commit a crime and they could be locked up in the prison system. They're super quick to do that, as opposed to, well, this guy's he's too crazy to be held in trial, so we're just going to lock him up indefinitely in the psychiatric ward. And that's the end of that article. Rockland County Judge rules Grafton Thomas. This is, okay, so that was the New York Post. This is Westchester News 12. like 5 days earlier. Grafton remains incompetent to stand trial in Muncie Hanukkah stabbings. Let's see. Here's a video.
Our exclusive 9 points of protection that helps protect your mom's facility from leaks and blood.
Orange County man remains competent.
Wow,
To
she
stand
sounds
trial
really
in the
believable.
2019
Cut,
Hanukkah
cut, cut.
stabbings in Muncie. During a hearing, the judge adjourned the case against Grafton Thomas until December of next year. Thomas is charged with attacking 5 Hasidic Jewish men with a machete in a rabbi's home. One of the victims, a 72-year-old man, died months later. Thomas faces charges including second-degree murder. Thomas, who was a patient at the Mid-Hudson Psychiatric Center, also faces federal hate crime charges. An update is to be presented to a federal judge next month. Thomas has
There's
pled not
literally
guilty to the
no
charges.
evidence to chalk this into the, quote, hate crime category. Yet, because Jews were killed, it becomes a hate crime. Do you not understand how ridiculous that is? Every single time Jews get killed, it's a hate crime. Let somebody else be brutally stabbed or murdered or shot. That's not a hate crime. That's just a regular crime. But when they add hate crime to it, that adds all these different charges and shit. Like if you kill somebody, you kill somebody. But if you kill somebody because it's a hate crime, oh boy. Now we're talking real bad shit. Okay, a Rockland County judge has ruled an Orange County man. Orange County? An Orange County man remains incompetent to stand trial in the 2019 Hanukkah stabbings in Muncie. During the hearing, the judge adjourned the case against Grafton Thomas until December of next year. It's weird how they keep doing that with this guy. We don't actually get to see any of those trials or anything that has to do with it. But this guy just keeps going. We don't hear any evidence or anything. But apparently, a guy who... So the story is he went to... he just randomly showed up at this synagogue / house. I guess the house was on part of the synagogue or some shit. He supposedly just showed where they were having a Hanukkah dinner. He supposedly just opened the door, opened the front door, and started attacking. They said he was stabbing people with a machete. They said he was stabbing people with a machete. And they said that he was able to slash and stab at least one, the 72-year-old man who died months later, who there was no actual injury shown. And when you did see his face was fine. But he was stabbed. He died months later. But this guy... They said they fought him off by using chairs. So they were like a lion tamer. And so after he stabbed them, he ran over to the synagogue and tried to push his way in. But they had heard the commotion, so they were barricading the door. So then he jumps into his car. Guy that can't stand trial. Jumps into his car. Drives to his home back in New York. Goes into his apartment, goes upstairs and goes to sleep. And roughly a half hour to 45 minutes later, based on, I guess, street cameras and stuff, I'm not really sure how, the police kicked in his door and busted him and found him still in the bed sleeping with blood all over his hands. Caught him red-handed. Then he got whisked away, where he was immediately found to be so crazy that he couldn't stand any sort of trial, and was locked away. Now, according to his mom and shit, he had like, he was crazy, yeah, but he had he wasn't like anti-Jewish or anything like that. So the idea that he did this because they were Jewish was just crazy. It wasn't even, it was so unsubstantiated. So immediately the Jewish judges, the local Jewish judge tried to charge him with like every fucking thing possible. Hate crimes, terrorist activity, all this crazy shit that wasn't substantiated. So it all basically got thrown out, and it was just, he was just going to stand trial for a murder or for the attack. It wasn't until months later that it turned into the murder because the guy died. But there's literally like no evidence that this guy hated Jews or anything like that. And yet, again, he was capable of doing all of this shit, driving, blah, 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 and was found a half hour later. They found a random guy. They didn't even know who he was. They didn't even know who he was, but thanks to, license plate reader cameras and shit, they were able to track him down within like a half hour or 45 minutes of the actual attack happening. They were able to track him down back to his house in New York, his apartment in New York, where he was found sleeping. How long do you think it took to drive back to his house in New York? And somehow he just like ran home, jumped into bed, fell asleep, and then within minutes the police were at his door kicking the shit in and like, does that make sense to you? Does that sound like a reasonable, believable story to you? Whether you're, a sane person who thinks Jews are insane and crazy, or you're just a regular dumbass, does any of that shit make sense to you? Does that sound like how the police work? They were able to find this man. They had no idea who he was, but they were able to find him through tracking his car with the roadside cameras and all that. I mean, are you serious? You would think it would take more than a half hour just to gather that information. Yet somehow when these Jews are involved, whoa boy, everybody goes into overdrive and, it's nuts. Now, I didn't mean to start talking about this, but I was trying to figure out where that Bethel Park, Pennsylvania thing, why do I know that? Other than the Trump shooter, why do I know Bethel Park? What is that? What is the significance of that? Is that where the measles was said to be? I don't know. Grafton. And then, how many people have you ever met named Grafton? I mean, it would be one thing if his name was Thomas Grafton, but his name is Grafton Thomas. Grafton. What? At least he doesn't have the middle name.
Parents had high aspirations for him. It's been a disappointment ever since birth.
He was crazy. They said he was crazy his whole fucking life. All the couple people that actually knew him said that, like, this is just, they can't believe this. This doesn't make any sense. Thomas is charged with attacking 5 Hasidic Jewish men with a machete at a rabbi's home. One of the victims, 72-year-old man, died months later. Thomas faces second-degree murder charges and federal hate crime charges. Thomas is currently a patient at the Mid-Hudson Psychiatric Center. An update to this is to be presented to a federal judge next month. Thomas pleaded not guilty to the charges. It's almost like they copy and pasted the story. Isn't it weird that Westchester News 12 posts a story written by Maya Noah, that promises an update next month, doesn't happen, And then 5 days later, the New York Post posts an article by George Fitzgibbon, who says the exact same thing. Isn't that strange? Does anybody else find that strange? I find that strange.
I find it even more strange that stupid news report about the hurricane that happened in the past tense.
That's definitely strange. Okay, so I want to see this. So this is a different story than I remember, but let's see what it says. We got to have our commercial. Oh, shit! Real Choice. Now I can go do that realchoice.com thing I was thinking of. Thank God this commercial played that I can't skip through. I hope it's one of two. So this is supposedly the arrest footage now? He was arrested at his house. What are we talking about? Now we're saying he was arrested at gunpoint on the street. Oh, that was that. That's all that was. That random footage like that. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So now it's a completely different narrative. Why the fuck not? So then the next article is of Thomas D. Morando of Grafton, who died on July 24th. Man, July 24th, Thomas Morando died in Grafton. March 1st, Thomas Grimo died in Grafton. Damn. March 29th, Thomas Colgate died in Grafton. Grafton, Massachusetts. They want to arrest me. DV offender tased. That doesn't seem like the right story. It seems weird that I put Grafton Thomas in this, and every fucking story in the world is coming up but Grafton Thomas's story. We got RTE Archives Lifestyle Christmas in September on Grafton Street. Thomas Gallagher, Grafton Shopping World Junior Sport Person of the Year. Photos, Thomas propels Grafton past South. D114 football, South. Grafton set for early season clash at top. Grafton Bigelow, obituary. Thomas Beckman, obituary. Thomas Walter Grafton, obituary. Monty Hanukkah attack suspect, still unfit for trial. This is January 27th, 2022. This is 2 years earlier. Oh, look at this scary guy. Look how scary he looks. This is Jorge Fitzgibbon. This is the New York Post. The exact same guy is talking about this story. The accused killer who slashed 5 Hasidic Jewish men at a Rockhold County home during Hanukkah in 2019, leaving one dead, was deemed incompetent to stand trial. Again. Grafton Thomas, 38, is facing murder and attempted murder charges in the December 28, 2019 attack in New York City that killed Joseph Newman, 72, who died from his wounds months later. But Judge Kevin Russo, Kevin Russo again, all of the same fucking characters. Same judge, same reporter. But Judge Kevin Russo on Wednesday agreed with a federal judge's determination last year that Thomas, who has been diagnosed with schizophrenia, is unfit to face the charges. Said at is unfit to face. That's it. It's almost the exact same thing. Are you guys not seeing this? Do you know how accidental this is right now? Do you understand how easily I could be wrong about all this shit? But instead of me being wrong, like I'm literally accidentally proving that I told you so. Do you understand like how unlikely that is? Let's just say someone like me is out there making up a completely different narrative than the one that we're supposed to believe. And it just so happens to work out that everything they claim within a short period of time proves itself to be true. Wouldn't you find that fascinating, like in any sort of situation? This guy's talking crazy stuff we're not supposed to talk about. And then, all I'm doing is proving it to you. This could be anything else. Literally, it could say anything else. And instead, it proves my point over and over again. Like I looked all this up beforehand and found it out that it was safe. And I'm like, okay, now I can go report. No. What should happen, at least the majority of the time, is that I'm wrong. I should be wrong most of the time.
Don't worry, baby, you are.
Going against the narrative, I should be reading the official narrative and being like, yeah, well what about, what about, and instead it's like, holy shit, are you hearing me say these things?
Well, the thing is that a lot of people probably don't realize that you do discover this in real time. You aren't, like you said, pre-preparing. These are not, how do you pre-prepare a fucking 3-hour-long live feed?
That was January 27th. January 26th.
But you do have to understand that people aren't accustomed to that because a lot of people do live things and a lot of it is pre-prepared.
Oh, it's all bullshit.
So you're unique in that, and I think you forget about that. You know what I mean? It's easy for you to forget about that because you're the one doing this.
So literally, the previous thing was January 24th, 2024, right? The one from the earliest one. This last one was January 26th, 2022, or 2022. So almost exactly 2 years earlier, right? So here we are, January 2nd, 2021, Hanukkah stabbing suspect Grafton Thomas, still unfit 1 year after New York attack. He's still unfit. And this is NBC New York reporting this time.
That's an utter failure in the mental health system, huh?
So this is
to work on him and things know better.
2 years, because this happened in 2019,
They
I
haven't done
believe.
shit in the 2 years to fix him.
Well, 1 year, because it was at the end of it was December 2019. So,
And that's just a
not just fix.
like
Right, I was gonna say not fix
to
him.
go,
Right.
on a roller coaster.
Exactly. No, this is just to be punished for killing Jews
Right.
or killing a Jew, an old Jew. Of course, the only one that dies is one that if he died in just died, you'd be like, oh well, 72, he lived a good life. It's no tragedy.
Your life is in danger.
You know? It's always, why is it always super old Jews that get killed in these things?
Because they're the ones standing here spitting on people.
Stay away from them.
I'm sorry. Can I say that out loud?
They don't do that here. If they did that here, they'd get their shit beat in. They only do that where they have the protection that there's going to be a fucking soldier right around the corner that will shoot the fucking Palestinian for defending himself without questioning it.
Or American. Or,
Mm. No, I think you're less likely as an American if you don't look Palestinian. I mean, if you look Palestinian, they're going to shoot you.
Saw that dude wasn't Palestinian, right?
Who?
Where we were the very first one that you showed me, where Steve Jobs, no, Steve, the Traveler,
Oh, Steve, Rick Steves?
Rick Steves. Yeah, he's not Palestinian.
Uh-huh.
He got spit on.
No, he didn't.
They spit at him, right?
No, they didn't. No. Oh no, you're talking about what's his name? The guy that died. Morgan Spurlock. Morgan Spurlock when he went to so he went into Israel and was like, "Hey, can we talk?" And they were like, they pushed him and they pushed him and and it became almost this riot. And then some old dude like did one of those to him, but he didn't. It wasn't like he was standing there and some Jew just walked by and spit on him like they do to, especially to women.
And a journalist or something was asked walking up, and they spit at him.
No, I didn't see that. No way.
I saw that.
They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do something like that in such an open capacity. It'd be one thing if it was like a hidden camera. Again, I don't know. Hanukkah stabbing suspect Grafton Thomas unfit for federal trial, April 20th, 2020. They don't even give. Isn't it interesting how there's literally no details? He's unfit to stand trial because he. What? There's literally nothing you can. I put Grafton Thomas into the Google machine, clicked go, and then went to the news. There's literally nothing you can find about that man that's going to give you any sort of answers whatsoever. Grafton Thomas. I didn't click news. I just put it in and clicked all. It's going to show me article from 2024, article from 2024, 2022, 2024. United States Department of Justice.gov. let's see what this has to say. Orange County man charged with federal hate crime for December 28th, 2019 machete attack at rabbi's home. But see, this is from Monday, December 30th, 2019. So this is like right after it happened. And they say it happened on the 27th or some shit. Listen to how this is given to us though. So when Dylan Root or Roof, I can't remember, goes into a black church, shoots the motherfucker up, has all sorts of videos of him with Confederate flags, talking about I hate niggers this, I hate niggers that, blah, 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 blah. The FBI is stuck trying to investigate whether or not this is a hate crime or not. We're still trying to sort of, they're hesitant to call it a hate crime. I think they eventually did call it a hate crime, but they were real hesitant. When a black guy, a guy that's so crazy he can't stand trial, I can't even say kicks in the door, opens a door and attacks a group having a dinner with a machete, killing one months later who supposedly died from, he didn't die from his machete injuries months later. He just died. They don't ever even tell you like he was slashed across the stomach and his intestines were all over, so they had to, it was doubtful he'd survive. You don't know that shit. Like he could have had a heart attack. He was so scared, and they would say that, And again, these are detailless crimes. We don't get any details, but that is immediately called a hate crime. Like
I would call that a crazy crime.
It's a crime. It's just a crime, right?
I don't think that he cared that they were Jewish or not. I think that he just wanted to kill people with a machete because he was crazy.
Well, he wasn't like screaming, "I hate the Jews" or anything. He wasn't like. There's literally there's no explanation for it. Why did this crazy guy,
target these people? Who
was so crazy he can't stand trial, but I guess he can drive. He was allowed to drive. Why would they let somebody that's not fit to stand trial have a license? Because that's how they found him. The car's registered to him. It wasn't like it was,
He was just driving.
Right. Why would you let somebody that fucking crazy that couldn't be held responsible for a murder spree have a fucking drive around in a goddamn missile? Drive around inside. He could murder so many people with a car.
Especially since driving isn't a right, it's a privilege.
Right. So
Right.
why would he have this privilege, but he can't stand trial for killing people? That doesn't make any sense. But you're gonna hear how they initially tried to just like this guy was. Listen, watch this. This is just interesting. Grafton Thomas injured at least 5 people in attack during Hanukkah observance. So here we don't even know that the 72-year-old man's gonna die, right? Here nobody's dead. This guy did an attack with a goddamn machete, and as always, can't kill any Jews. They are fucking bulletproof, man. Eric Dryband, Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights. Jeffrey S. Berman, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. And William F. Sweeney Jr., the Assistant Director in charge of the New York office of the FBI. What 40-hour work weeks do you think all 3 of these guys do? What 40-hour, well worth the 100,000 plus a year they make? How much work do you think these 3 men do every day? Work. How much do you think they do that you couldn't do? I was watching this interrogation video, crime, breakdown video, and I was just thinking, man, if this guy is in trouble, he has a terrible, terrible lawyer. Because I'm thinking of arguments I could present that would at the very least create doubt. Because I didn't believe the guy did it. He denied he did it. He never said he did it to begin with. They just put this on him. And to me it seemed like there were so many holes that a reasonable attorney could have exploited, but I guess never did. They announced today that Grafton Thomas has been charged with 5 counts of obstructing the free exercise of religion in an attempt to kill. So this is a charge. I've never, ever, ever heard of anybody being charged with obstructing the free exercise of religion in an attempt to kill.
No.
Literally, that's what Israel exists upon. The Israel we supply with all their bombs and shit. The free exercise of religion, obstructing the free exercise of religion in an attempt to kill. They've done that well over 40,000 times since October 7th. That's okay though. A federal hate crime related to his machete attack during Shabbat at Hanukkah observances at a rabbi's home in Monsey, New York on the night of December 28, 2019. Again, do you understand how arrogant this is? To assume that some black guy, especially some crazy black guy, knows what fucking Hanukkah is, what days Hanukkah falls on that year. Because December 28th is actually really late for Hanukkah, isn't it? Is it Hanukkah usually wrapped up by Christmas?
Usually, I thought.
Yeah. So this year it just happens to be one of the later years, and they think that Grafton Thomas, but see, there's literally, like I tell you, there's going to give you evidence, they're going to give you details, but there's no real details. Where the fuck are the details in this? Again.